There are just a few things you need to do to keep your Harman stove operating at its peak. Every time you load fuel into the hopper, take the opportunity to scrape the burn pot. Remove the ash pan and empty it. Close the ash pan door while emptying the ash pan. Keep the ashes in a closed metal container away from any combustible materials until the ash is completely cooled. The ash pan can also be emptied between cleanings while the stove's running. If you do this, turn the temperature dial to number 1 for about 30 minutes before emptying, so the ash pan is cooler to handle. Turn the dial back to your desired setting. The amount of fuel burned and the frequency of these cleanings will vary depending on the quality of the fuel used. To do this, first shut down the stove. When the stove has completely cooled and stopped running, it's now safe to clean. This may take up to an hour. Clean the heat exchanger with the scraper. Scrape the inside of the stove to remove fly ash, which is a fine residue left over from burning. The debris will fall into the ash pan. Lift up and remove the front plate lock, front plate, auger extension, and burn pot grate. Clean all fines and debris that has accumulated. Install the cleaned burn pot grate, making sure the holes line up with the 2 tabs in the burn pot housing. Now, install the spare clean auger extension into the auger shaft. Make sure there isn't any corn or debris in the shaft opening. This will prevent the auger extension from being fully inserted into the shaft. Align the auger extension through the hole in the clean front plate and place the front plate against the burn pot grate and housing. Install the front plate lock. Note, after cleaning of these parts, inspect for excessive wear and replace as needed. Clean the viewing glass. This should not be done while the stove is hot. Use a soft, non-synthetic cloth and either a vinegar and water mixture or a non-abrasive glass cleaner. Do not spray any liquids onto hot glass. Most times, just a dry cloth will work. Never use a hard or sharp object to scrape the glass. Next, access the combustion blower by removing the ash pan. Remove the combustion blower cover by turning the latch. Slide the cover out of the slot to expose the combustion blower wheel and flue. Using a paintbrush, clean the blower wheel. Be careful not to bend the fan blades. Use a shop vac with a fine dust filter or ash vac to vacuum debris from this area. Clean the flue exit with a 3 or 4-inch flue brush. But be careful not to go in too far, which could damage the exhaust sensing probe located right here. Vacuum all remaining ashes and residue from inside the stove. When you're finished, replace the blower cover and latch it. Replace the ash pan. Now, around the back of the stove, remove the rear shielding by loosening the screws with a 5/16 nut driver or drill gun. Remove the feeder cover by loosening the wing nut. Vacuum any pellet fines or small pieces from this area. And reinstall the cover, making sure that it seals all the way around. Tighten the wing nut finger tight and reinstall the rear shields. Again, this may not need to be done at every cleaning interval, so this first time will be your guide. Your stove is now ready to efficiently burn your next ton of pellets. Generally, after burning every ton of fuel, we recommend that you clean the entire venting system. Experience will help you judge whether this needs to be done after every ton or more or less frequently. The frequency of cleaning depends largely on the quality of the fuel used. For your convenience, your local Harman dealer offers these professional maintenance services.